Hey friends, I wanted to start this video or add a prelude to the following video. I didn't think it felt right to just jump on in again and get back into the YouTube groove. I'll update you on some things as to why I haven't been on for the last 2 weeks. As you know, if you don't know, Mel Thompson, we lost her last Sunday. And when I found out, I was working at a Power Monkey camp. I was teaching flexibility, and I actually was there for 2 weeks. So when I received the news, it was such a strange exchange because I was surrounded by people who did not know Mel. I was not in the beauty space at all. This was a lot of just fitness all around from different backgrounds. So it was a strange receiving of the news. I didn't know how to feel because, again, I was surrounded by people who didn't know Mel, and those who were kind and willing to listen to what happened genuinely felt bad, but again, it was not the same connections as we all had with Mel. Whether you watched her videos recently or for years, whether you had her products from her collaborations with Christian Audette and Sydney Grace, even if she messaged you or sent you a voice message, whatever the connection was, I was not surrounded by those experiences. So it was quite strange to receive news in an environment that was unlike what we have, right? It was not our beauty ecosystem as Vicky J describes it to be. And I just wanted to share my sentiments in thinking about her family, her 4 kids and her husband, and the fact that it's okay to, going forward, to always think of her, no matter what we do, and to remember those memories, to keep them safe. I can't even get out the words. My grammar is terrible. Sorry. I guess it's okay to be sad. It's okay to find the light in those memories, no matter where you are. And as I said, or I forgot who said to me, grief has no timeline. It just kind of has stages. Some days you'll feel okay. 1 second you'll feel okay, and the next you're totally distraught, right? So how we all came together in taking care of each other, in making sure we are all dealing with this in our own way, is the best we can do. And it's going to be tough because, yes, everything I do, every time I do or pick up Pat McGrath, I'll think of her. I'll think of Mel. And definitely when I blend, I'll think of Mel. When I think about my color combinations, I'll think of her. So her impact has definitely had its robust vibrations with me and with others in this community. And I guess, that's all on my mind for now. And I didn't want to continue uploading without acknowledging that, because I thought that would have been really strange and really insensitive. And my apologies for not being very articulate right now. And for the I'm sorry about the I think that's all on my mind for now. I sat on it for quite some time. I sat on it for a few days. I did post about it on my community board while I was still away, and I didn't know if I wanted to do a whole video or just a snippet like I'm doing now. And yes, you read the title right. It is August favorites because I unfortunately did not have time to upload that video before I went to Tennessee, which is funny, where Mel lives. So I was in the same state when she passed, which is so bizarre. And because of that, I'm really backed up because the internet where I was in Lake Francis did not have enough bandwidth for me to upload anything. It barely had enough juice to scroll through my Instagram or my email because there were a lot of people there, and there was enough internet for it to go around. So with that said, I'm backed up on videos. Thank you for understanding. And again, this is not about me. This is just giving you an idea of, I'm just getting us back on track from when I left you guys to where we are now. And yes, it's October. It's October, one of my most favorite months. And I'm giving you August favorites. And I will most certainly film September faves soon. Who knows if that will end up in October or November at this point. But I just wanted to update you on that timeline. And again, I wanted to just share present my condolences to Mel's family, and also her husband Eric set up a GoFundMe that is approved and run by her family. Please make sure that you do not fall for any other imposter GoFundMes with her name, if there is any. I hope people are not cruel enough to do that, but I know it does happen. The link will be down below. You're not obligated to donate. It's just there, just sharing the information. I can only imagine the unexpectancy of Mel's passing and the amount of times, I don't know, but just based on what she has said and what Kelsey has told us, hospital visits are expensive. And unfortunately, this unfortunate passing, financially, I can't even imagine what is required now, in addition to the hospital visits, and now with the logistics of taking care of someone when they have left us, can be expensive. And I'm not saying it has to be your problem. I'm not saying you have to make it your problem. I know the past year has taught us that we do better when we have each other, when we have each other's support. So I will leave that link down below, and I'm sure her family will be very much appreciative for anything that you are comfortable able to give. So I think that is it for now. And any memories you have of Mel, I know most of you wrote beautiful memories in the on the community post. I'll leave it up there if you just need to share again. Even if you left one comment, you could go back there and leave another. Ink is therapeutic and necessary when we have something on our minds and on our hearts to share. Even if you need to write it down in a journal or put it on a post-it somewhere. If you need to do that, so when you have a moment of sadness, you could read that. You're like, remember when I saw this video of Mel and she said this joke, or she did this? Or I loved it when she created these looks from one of my favorite palettes. I think these memories are important and necessary for us to cope. And again, don't put a timeline on it. If you need to grieve over her passing for a year, for 2 years, it doesn't matter. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for everything, for understanding, for being so patient. And going into August favorites. Until then, I'll see you again soon. Hi, friends. Today, we're covering my August favorites. I know it's the middle of September. I am so late. We got lifestyle, we got makeup, we got earrings. But first, if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. I will start with lifestyle, and this has been the biggest change that I ever took in terms of my room. I've spoken about how my room is small and I have very limited space in regards to filming. I don't have a dedicated room to filming. I film right in my bedroom. And the photo here shows how big my bed was. It was a queen size bed. And although I love like a big mattress, you have the space to do whatever, it was not ideal for what I wanted to achieve in this room. Because I dedicate this room to filming, I felt cramped and I never wanted to edit because the editing station that I had was a very small desk shoved in the corner between my bookcase and my dresser. And you know what? First world problems. At least I have a desk. At least I have the space to edit. But over time, I became claustrophobic. I didn't want to film because filming meant had to put on a towel on my bed, and things were just so awkwardly placed just because of lack of space that the preparation I had to go through mentally was off-putting, and it discouraged me further and further to want to film, because the amount of work I had to do in order just to press record was just, I hated it, to say the least. So I toyed with the notion of getting a smaller bed. And I know at this point of my life, I'm 36 years old, I still live with my mom and dad, and yeah, I went from a queen size bed to a twin size bed. And you're like, are you insane? I first thought, how could I do such a thing? Because societally, if that's even a word, I know at this point that we always want the bigger bed, we always want the bigger this and the bigger that. That size sometimes equates to, I don't want to say success, but maybe more financial gain, however you want to see it. I found that I needed to grow more in terms of becoming a creator, and the space that I was working in was not allowing me to deliver optimally. So yeah, I decided to get a smaller bed so my workspace can be more efficient. And I know that's crazy and that might not be kosher, because you have read, and I have read also, that ideally you don't want to sleep where you work. Well, this is the situation that I am in, and it's okay for the meantime. You know, I'll get into my other favorite. All that to say, I bought a Casper twin mattress. It's the original hybrid, so it's foam and spring, and I adore it. The great thing is also it's perfectly sized because it fits between my metal frame that everyone thinks is gonna fall on my head, but it won't, because it is dad made and approved. Okay, it's like my little sleep nook. It almost kind of looks like a day bed, and sure, it's smaller, but when I was thinking about this and trying to grasp the notion that I was actually getting rid of my queen size bed, I only slept on one side. I never, out of like over a decade, I slept on this bed. I never used the whole bed. I never rolled to the other side. I pretty much stayed on, at the time, was the left side of the bed. And I'm like, why am I forcing myself to sleep on a bed that's huge that I'm not even fully using, when I could get rid of it for a smaller mattress and just have more room in my space? So that's what I did. And I know, again, that might be crazy to someone who needs a bigger bed, or who thinks that, what are you doing at this age? I don't care. I was so happy to get rid of that bed, to get rid of the mattress, to get rid of the frame. So what we did, I have the mattress and I got the Casper foundation, but it was really tough for me to get a bed frame in the exact dimensions that I needed it to fit between my metal frame. So what my dad did, and I asked him to, is to get 3 wooden, or we got 4 actually, 4 2-inch squared logs, wood blocks. I think it's what fir, pine fir, I forgot the species of the tree, just to lift the foundation off the floor so there could be circulation, so you have better longevity for your mattress. I still wanted the bed and foundation to be pretty low to the floor. I even toyed with tatami mats, but in another lifetime, I'll put tatami mats in my room. All that to say, I am so happy with my smaller bed. I sleep great on it. I don't feel like I'm gonna roll over and fall on the floor, and it's pretty close to the floor anyway compared to my old mattress and bed frame. I love it. I freaking love it. I look forward to being in it every day. It's like my little sleeping nook. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to contact an interior designer who specializes in smaller space for better decor, because maybe I'll play with lights and something just to kind of give it a different vibe. But I freaking love my Casper mattress, and the fact that it comes in the box and you pull it out of the box and it starts inflating. It's amazing. My parents were pretty supportive. They were like, if you want to do it, sure. My dad broke down the old bed frame. We took it out in pieces, and yeah, c'est la vie. Which brings me to my next favorite. It is my fully desk that rises, and that is automatic. It goes up, it goes down. I can't even tell you. I can't. Oh! To have an actual desk that moves, that's bigger than the desk I had. The desk I had was 20 inches wide. This, I believe, is 36 inches wide. It goes up, it goes down. And again, hold on, hold on. I was never able to do that with the bed in here. I could walk in my room now. Like, I could walk in my room. If I wanted to face the window while working, okay, sure. If I wanted to face the other way, okay, sure. It has wheels on it. You could get it with or without wheels, but the wheels are crucial, friends, okay? You want mobility. All right, so I can move my desk as I please. I made it so you could customize it. You could have the grommets in here with extra plugs. You could put a little drawer, which I have. This is where I have my lash glue and my lashes. Any of the little things that I can never seem to find when filming is right here now in one place. Beautiful wood. It just is so nice to work in here now. I can't even tell you. I look forward to it. I ordered a chair with wheels because now the chair that I have is good for now, but I want to be able to roll from here and roll over there because now on this side of my room, I ordered a Container Store Alpha program. Nice, Alicia. System to just make use of my vertical space. So that's coming up. Maybe it probably will be an October favorite because it's coming in October. So when you look forward to being in your space where you have just like that breath of I feel like I can breathe here now. I don't care if I have a smaller bed. I don't care if my setup is unconventional. All that matters is that I'm happy. I'm happy with the setup. It makes me want to work. It just encourages me to do so and to be more focused, more work efficient, have just better workflow. And yeah, I highly recommend this desk. I put it together with my dad. It was fairly simple. All the instructions are provided. They even have videos on their website if you run into problems. They have different size desks, different widths, different lengths, different types of wood. You could choose your own table leg color. I have the white and I think the oak top, I believe it is. I'll leave all the links down below so you could take a look. But man, it really makes a difference, friends. I can't even tell you. I cannot even tell you. I think I still want like a smaller table that I could fold and put away to put on the side. Because right now I have like a little tripod table majiggy that I put so that I have the makeup or whatever I'm working with for said video to be nearby. And what I have on my actual desk are other makeup items anyway. Whatever you're going through, if you feel you cannot work in your space and the decisions that you're playing with seem unconventional and just maybe not acceptable to some, who cares? Do what you need to do so you can thrive. Because you know what? I'm thriving now. After years and years of dealing with, well, you know, it's a queen size bed. Why would I get rid of it? You know what? So what? I got rid of it and I'm happier. That's that. Another lifestyle favorite. I mentioned these sneakers before, but they are the APLs, the Athletic Propulsion Lab sneakers. They came out with this, I think they call it a capsule collection. It's leopard print. Yes, I got both the white and the black because I could not resist. I freaking love these sneakers, man. I mean, look at them. Look, they're slip-on. They're super comfortable. They're lightweight. I read some of the reviews that they don't have as much cushioning as other sneakers. And yes, other sneakers have much more cushioning. So proceed with caution. If you have a foot condition that requires just a more padded footbed, then I would recommend that you do the research so that you find the sneaker that's right for you. For me, I love the lightweight design. The fact that I could just slip these on without having to lace them up. They fit snug. They do run, well, some say they run on the smaller side because I do think they run narrow. For me, that's perfect because I do have a narrow foot. So it just fits like a glove. I love it so much. And that they're leopard, the soles are leopard. I cannot. So I've been wearing those like crazy and they came out with some fall colors that I'm still on the fence about. I don't know if Like the forest green with the cornflower blue, it's cool. I like it. I just cannot envision an outfit right now. So maybe that's just due to my own limitations. I'm this this close to ordering a tricolor set from their fall drop. But I really love the leopard. I really love the leopard. I think that's it for lifestyle. So now we can get into the makeup. As you see, I'm barefaced because when it comes to the makeup in favorite videos, I like to do a demo. I don't go into like tutorial mode, but just so you can see the products in action. These two favorites are not new products, but my favorite combo for the month of August has been the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Foundation and the Kett Cosmetics FIXX Powder Foundation. These two, the reason why I combine them is because the Pat McGrath foundation is M16 and it is a little light for me now. So what I do is I don't go ham on the actual liquid foundation. So I just apply enough to even out my skin tone, as you see here, and it definitely significantly lightens my complexion. But because of that, I'll use the Kett powder foundation to add a little bit of warmth and additional coverage. And what's spectacular about the FIXX is that the formula relies on shea infused mica, which lends a very smooth silky texture for a powder foundation. And especially if you have dry skin, it's not going to look like powder. It's going to look very much skin-like in finish. I did surrender to the fact that I do need to get a new foundation because I am traveling, and I found that using a stick or packing a stick foundation is just the easiest thing to do. So I decided to get a deeper shade in the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Stick because the Pat McGrath is $68, the Faux Filter is $39. $39 is still expensive, but I could swallow that a little better than spending $68 again. So that's coming up. I haven't decided what shade I'm going to pick up, so I'm going to go to Sephora and figure that out. But back to the favorite duo, I go in with shade N6. I actually originally dubbed this as my bronzer shade, but this serves as a really nice all over powder foundation shade. So I'm taking my Chikuhodo, I believe this is the F03 brush, and more so on the outer perimeters of my face, bracketing the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish. And you see that it just adds back in a little more color, but it's so, hold on. That's enough. It's very smooth on the skin. It does not look like a powder whatsoever. It buffs beautifully into the Pat McGrath foundation, and I just love how my skin looks from it. It doesn't look overly made up. Of course, it's under your discretion based on what brush you use. If you decide to use a sponge, you'll lay down more product. So that's why I like to use a brush instead of a sponge. I've still been using my Pat McGrath concealer. I know there have been a bunch of concealers that dropped in the last month. I'm trying, which is amazing, I'm trying to finish this because I find the color is great for me, coverage is just right. You know, I don't need another concealer right now. I'm happy with this. Is there something better out there? Probably, but ignorance is bliss sometimes when you're trying to finish what you have and save money. Now, because this is a powder foundation, I don't feel the need to set, but I could go in with the Pat McGrath loose powder, which I'm almost done with. I usually leave it as is. Of course, no other than Pat's under eye blurring powder in yellow. Next favorite, without a doubt, is the Suqqu 3D Control Eyebrow Palette in 01. This has like a almost khaki-like color. This like a taupey brown and a beige shade. Alongside that is the Koyudo Yoshiki series, Superior series brush. I believe this is the 06 eyebrow brush. This is Tanuki Black Raccoon Hair. And I was stunned as to how beautifully this applies the brow powder. You do not need to use this brush with this product. As you see, the palette does come with its own brush. However, I love the stiffness, but the softness at the same time. It brushes product through effortlessly. But keep in mind, because the size of the brush, yes, it's not going to be as precise as a smaller one, but I just enjoy the ease of use, especially on days where it's just gotta get out of the house, okay? You gotta get out of here. You don't want to pencil the brows because that might be a little too much, but you need just some color to be run through them. So they have that fluff, they have a little bit of body to them. And again, the texture of the brush, it's perfect because it's not so soft that it doesn't do anything, but it's not so stiff either. And yes, again, not as precise as a pencil, but just, you know, I could take that for an everyday brow for sure. Especially if I don't want to apply eyeshadow, which I feel sometimes I feel obligated to go with if I decide to use a pencil on my brows. Because when the brows are like super done and your eyes are not, it just looks like there's a missing link in that routine. So with that said, I very much enjoy this brush. It's so satisfying to use. You could use it to bring in a little more structure or to fluff through product in a way that's going to add a little bit of volume to your brows. But the actual color of this palette just leaves behind the most natural looking color on my brows that I feel fits with my complexion. It doesn't make them look too dark and look too impactful unless I wanted to go there, depending on the look. Soft enough for daily use. Again, that's not going to make your face look out of place like you need more makeup. And just to finish it off, I like to follow up with my Benefit Brow Gel, you know, just to pull everything together. Now, the entire Suqqu Autumn collection, with the exception of one blush. I have to say, I understand that Suqqu is a Japanese brand, so they're catering to, especially to one part of the skin tone spectrum. 129 definitely is for the lighter skin tone. For sure. If that person is looking for a softer contour or what have you, the spotlight shade for me from the collection is definitely 128. This is more of like a reddish brown hue that, oh my gosh, the tone is absolutely perfect. You could wear it as a little bit of a contour moment, or you could wear it more of a blush as a blush. Let's go with my Sonia G. Soft cheek. I'll apply this higher on the cheeks here, but again, the hue is just so soft and subtle, and you can layer the color in a way that builds without it looking overly powdery. It remains skin-like in finish. The powder fuses with your skin in a way that just makes it appear so seamless in its blend. It will have that flushed from within effect. And you see how crazy I'm going, because even if I love this color marginally better than the other, I do have to build it up, which I'm fine with, no problem. But the tone is just perfect. This is one of my most favorite blush shades that I've ever encountered that I now own. If you are my complexion and you were still thinking about the other blush, I wouldn't get it. I think it would just disappear into your skin tone. But if you want a little bit of flush and you prefer to wear your brush in a light manner, that you don't want too much color on the cheeks, 128. And staying within this collection, the two quads from the Autumn Winter collection in 106 and 107. Well, first of all, 106 was sent to me. I bought 107. 129 was sent. I bought 128. I am biased because I love the fall. These colors, I feel, are perfect for the season. Especially this pistachio shade. And I have a dedicated video using 106. I don't have one using 107, but I think I did use this in the Koyudo video that I did as either a demo, and also that is the plum eye that I have in that video. The pistachio shade, it almost has like a khaki-ish olive undertone, or rather it rears more brown when you start to blend it out. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this burgundy shade, oh my heavens, all over the lid. I was out of my mind when I used this shade on that video. It's so freaking beautiful. And here in this palette, the plum, you have got to be kidding me. It's so lovely all across the lid, through the crease, under the lash line, one and done. You could use either this shade to blend out the edges or even this shade. You could use this shade if you want just by itself, just as a light crease something. I know limited in terms of depth. If you're around my skin tone, you could use that shade. These quads are magnificent. And in terms of the Suqqu signature color quad formula, it's like applying silk on your eyelids. Effortless, easy to blend, foolproof. If you're one that usually doesn't like to apply shadow because you don't think you could, well, these shadows blend themselves, so you don't have to do a thing. Just swirl and twirl. You could go as slowly as you need. You pick a fluffy brush. You could float this on your lid through the crease. Take your time. And again, the texture of these shadows makes it so easy for them to apply that, again, you don't have to work hard at all. And it looks soft and diffuse. It takes very little effort for the final result to look blurred and blended. And that is a standout quality of Suqqu, especially their eyeshadows. And the singles, really nice to wear on their own or to combine them with any of the quads here. This is 108. It's like a duochrome topper shade that, again, if you were to apply that on the plum, or even apply 107 on top of this shade from that signature color quad. This is like a very, very light beginner. Fire Opal has a little more teal in it. I would say maybe Astral Luna Gold. I would say maybe that. Really nice, especially if you're not crazy about sparkly arcly. I think this is nice for the person who likes them but doesn't love them, but can't say no to a little bit of dazzle, you know what I'm saying? That is a Suqqu. Let's apply some highlighter. And without a doubt, the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer. I got one shade. This is in 01 Nude Glow. It is my perfect highlight shade. I find this to be incredibly shiny without looking heavy, without looking overly shimmery. There's not an apparent thick shimmery texture that sometimes can occur with highlighters. And although a powder, it almost feels wet on the skin. And I think that's incredible to be achieved by a powder formula. And again, what I think is just profound is the way this shines. As you'll see, a little goes a long way, but just the blend is incredibly easy. I believe this comes in like 5 or 6 different shades. I almost bought the coral one, but I stopped myself because I still have the coral powder luminizer that I purchased from their Summer Dune collection. And I understand, although slightly different perhaps, it's okay because I'm so happy with this shade that it makes me less stressed out to feel like I have to use 4 other shades from the same line. The downfall is that because it's Dior, it has fragrance. I forgive it, considering that I'm only wearing it as a highlighter and not applying it all over my face. Incredible color, incredible shine. This effect, again, although a powder, excuse me, just so you could take a look at this texture with everything that's been applied thus far. Are you kidding me? Love that Dior. Will I pick up another shade? Possibly, but right now I'm okay with the new glow, okay? And now the highlight of August, of course, is no other than Mother's Huetopian Dream Mothership 9, which caused quite a stir, I should say. I get it, I spoke about this before, I'm not going to go into it again, but people were expecting something else just based off the intensity of Pat's graphics on her Instagram, the impact of her inspo from sound and visuals and all the work she puts into her, whoever does her graphics for Instagram, freaking genius, okay? Then we saw Huetopian Dream. People were like, okay, they pivoted. And others was like, no freaking way, I wanted something else. We still have Mothership 10, and that's all I'm going to say. We'll see what Mother does for that palette, okay? Alongside the palette came with her IntesifiEYES. Now, fun fact, this was sent to me, but I did buy the palette. So I would like to give it away if anyone would like it. I'm terrible with giveaways because I never lay down the rules. I'm like, who wants it? I'll send it to you. But yes, I have an extra Huetopian Dream with another IntesifiEYES, which I also enjoy, especially for Bronze Solaris, which is quite dry. It's the worst shade out of the palette, but I love how it helps the shadows adhere. Now, some people were saying that this does not help with longevity. I found if you apply this still on your favorite primer, the longevity remains. It does not deteriorate. But let us know what your experience has been down below. All right, tapped on some primer. Ooh, what do we want to do? Well, first, I really should wait until this dries completely. I'm silly. Shockwave through this crease, which could also be used as a blush. Secret Eden through the other crease. Surprisingly looks rosier than how it appears in pan. And I explained this in my original video that I was quite surprised with the depth of Secret Eden. It's a beautiful shade. All right, we got Subdued Rosy, we got Crazy Coral. Bronze Desire, amazing shade, super smooth, and I'm placing that on the Shockwave side, on the majority of the lid, taking a little bit with my, I believe this is my Surratt brush, pulling it through the crease here, and in with a little more Shockwave to further diffuse the edges. Then with Cosmic Bloom, actually, you know what? This is where I like to go in with my IntesifiEYES, especially on the inner part of the lid, to add a little more stick here. And I'm pulling it through on the inner lower lash line. Cosmic Bloom now, where I apply the IntesifiEYES, and again, it just brightens the color. It makes it appear more wet. And if you deal with any fallout issues, especially with the astral shades, then this certainly will help. Speaking of Astral Amethyst Moon, definitely a little more chunky than her previous releases, but man, is it gorgeous. So I'm tapping that from Cosmic Bloom on a little bit of Bronze Desire, which, you know, totally changed the look. But this is the beauty of Huetopian Dream. You could keep it bronzy burgundy, or you could go all the way to the other side and go Astral Amethyst. Feathering on a little more Bronze Desire, you know, just to make everything even. I'm taking Bronze Desire on my lower lash line, so it could be smoky, okay. And a little more Astral Amethyst on the actual inner corner. Maybe not so much the lid. With my Koyudo KK004, with Extreme Plum Noir, tapping that on the outer part of the lid, adding a little more smoke. I would say the main difference, and I don't know why I'm just thinking about this, between Pat's Matte and Natasha's has a little more stick to them because they are a creamy matte formula, and I believe she made them that way so they adhere to the lid and there won't be any fallout, whereas Pat is a little more of an actual powder matte and a touch bit drier, which I feel could lend to a easier blend. I know depending on the user, Natasha's mattes could be a little tricky because Natasha likes to pack on a darker matte first and then blend the edges with a lighter one. So it makes sense if that formula had more adherence, because if that's the first color you're going in with, to sustain its intensity and impact, then sure. But if you like to layer on your darker mattes after your lighter transition ones, then it makes sense for it to be a little bit drier so it has more movement on the lid. Let me know down below if that has been your experience between the two. Definitely Blitz Extreme. My goodness me. This one is incredibly smooth. This wasn't her baked formula as indicated by how it is in the pan. Still shiny, however, despite that. And this is, it's just the, again, so lush. Definitely now with Bronze Solaris, I have to use IntesifiEYES with Bronze Solaris, because you'd be mad if you didn't. So it could look like molten gold. Bringing it on the inner part of the lid as well, and brushing it up towards Blitz Extreme, so it could be a nice seamless transition here. If you wanted Astral Venusian Orchid on top of Bronze Solaris, just to give it a little more pop, and because of Bronze Solaris's heavy gold undertone, it's going to bring out more teal from the Astral Venusian Orchid shade, which I think is really cool. And of course, Blitz Extreme now here on the lower lash line. Looking good! My favorite mascara combination is the Clio Professional Kill Lash Volume Curling Mascara with Mother's Dark Star. In terms of which mascara excels in what category, the Kill Lash I find is a better curling mascara than Pat's. I like to rely on the Kill Lash if I want a very light mascara day. For instance, if I'm just applying maybe like a very light crease shade or no shadow at all, I don't want my mascara to appear heavy on the eyes. I want that like that, was it Maybelline Full Lash? I feel like the Kill Lash is what I always wanted full and soft to do, but I'm actually getting that full and soft experience from Kill Lash. I find it helpful to apply the Kill Lash first, and after we get that on, we'll go in with Dark Star. Dark Star has the bigger brush. It also is going to apply more product and make the lashes look more voluminous and plush, which is what I look for when I have a heavier eye look going on the lids. And we gotta do the bedroom eyes, so I'm trying to work against the spoolie here so more mascara can comb through the lashes. And then the Kill Lash on the bottom, which, hallelujah, does not transfer on my lids or my under eyes, what I'm saying. Now for lips, I already spoke about Suqqu, but the new formula that released with their autumn winter collection, their sheer matte lipstick component design here. The sheer matte is like Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Lipstick Light. If you felt that the velvet lipstick texture and formula was a lot, because despite how soft it is on the lips, it's still a matte, and people are not crazy about mattes because they feel that they're drying and all that. Although a matte, the texture is so lightweight. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in a lipstick, and I feel the commitment is not high. For instance, the velvet mattes, I have to be very careful around going the lip, that I'm not going to go out the lines. This, you can get a little more hand with it. You know what I mean? This might be a little too warm for what I got going on the lip. Hold on. That was shade 103. I also have 101. It's more of a beige. This is so... I forgot about this color, how much I absolutely adore it. It's still on the warmer side, however, but I still think very fall appropriate given the theme of the collection. I bought more from my last video because I was so impressed by the formula that I wanted the other richer brown shades. Whew, those are simply gorgeous. And since we are in the lipstick category of things, Wayne Goss's newest nude lipstick collection, this is in the shade Nutmeg, which I think is my nude of choice. Very creamy in texture. Reminds me of the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude formula, but I do think Natasha is a little bit heavier, a little bit more creamy, whereas this, down the middle. If you felt that I Need a Nude was like too much for you, I don't think it could ever, because it's a beautiful formula, but Wayne Goss's lipstick texture still very creamy, but it has a lighter feel to it than I think the I Need Nude formula. It was either Pecan, or Nutmeg that I felt was like my ideal nude shade for my complexion. I wore that shade for my Pat McGrath mini palette video, so if you want to see it in action, I think I applied it then, I believe. If you haven't noticed, the earrings, these are from Purple Banana. I could not. So they recently released these Halloween inspired designs. Look at the scully hands. Oh my gosh. And of course I got the scream heads that come in like this pearlized finish. It's tough to see on screen. Maybe you could see it there, but these are so cool, so Halloween, so season appropriate. And these guys are really big. They're on the heavy side. But these are big earrings. These are the rosy skulls. Can you even? But I love the smaller skulls with the loop. I think these are really cute. They're my ideal size for earrings. As you've seen, I've worn smaller from Eastly, and maybe smaller and slightly bigger from Peachy Sundays. And the scream heads, although bigger, are still very lightweight. So I'm gonna wear these for sure. But I couldn't get enough of. Look at him. The hands are on the heavier side too, but the acrylic finish, the iridescent look to them, you know I love. Alright, those are all my favorites. We touched on a lot of fun things besides the usual makeup. September favorites might come in middle of October. Like this one's coming middle of September. I will be away for 2 weeks, so there's not going to be a lot of content going on at that time. Give me a visit, rewatch my older videos. I'll see you still on the internet, and I will see you in the comments down below. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you in here again with another review tutorial. Monthly favorites mid-month. Get ready with me or vlog. Take care, and I will see you again soon.